get your thoughts on one of the bigger trades for the top contender team trying to go back to back to back.
Right.
DeAndre Hopkins, you talked about it with Connor on Wednesday. I was glued to the pod.
Yeah,
I listened to every word of it.
Apparently.
I missed that, actually.
Right. Yeah, it's okay.
I was like, we should talk about that. You're like, we did.
Yeah.
But you've seen him now. I mean, we've seen him very successful on the field now.
Yeah.
So your thoughts after the Monday night game?
Well, I
Hopkins.
think I was encouraged with week one, and on the Wednesday podcast when you weren't here, I kind of went, man, the fact that on the first third down of the game, Mahomes threw to DeAndre Hopkins. There was another important play where he threw to him on a third down at one point, and you could see that from that early in the game, you went, oh, man, he's going to be in the trust tree with him, let alone there was probably a few other plays in that game against the Raiders where I'm sure Mahomes went back and watched film and went, I could have hit DeAndre Hopkins here. I can trust him. He'll sit in the right zone. He knows how to move this guy or lean him one way on this particular route or whatever. So that was encouraging. And then I think you're seeing it's going to go upward trajectory because, yes, that was impressive on Monday night. One, indoctrinating him into the offense, but two, having a guy that I think Mahomes hasn't been able to it's one-on-one or I'm in trouble and I need to just throw it up to a guy that maybe I can trust in these situations. He's got that in Hopkins, let alone he's got the guy on the outside one-on-one back shoulders. We talked about fades or like he threw that slant for the touchdown, which we had talked about on the Wednesday podcast to go, hey, these are the things he's going to be good at. He's such a big body receiver. He's got such long arms and he's got Spider-Man hands that you're going to go, wait, even though people are all over him, if I just he knows how to use his body and put it in the right spot, he'll shield them off and make the catch. So I love that trade. I mean, if you made me go 1 to 10 on a scale on that trade there, I'd give it a 9. I would, because one, I think it was definitely necessary for them to get back to the Super Bowl to have that element in their offense as far as a go-to receiver. He improves that. And the other thing, too, I want to say the Josh Uche trade, I love that. We hit that on Wednesday, too. And I love a team being elite on defense and making themselves eliter, if that's a word, which is not. I know.
Rising up the eliter board.
But like we've talked about with your Detroit Lions too, they don't want to have to blitz Lamar if they play them in the AFC Championship game, right? Every play. They'd like to go, wait, our front four can get there every now and then, and that'll work, and that's where Uche will help. So I think they made two great moves. Hopkins, though, I think is going to be really important for them, and I think his spot in the offense will just continue to grow and grow.
And in my mind, I was like, well, Hopkins is certainly past his prime. Like, how old is he right now? He is 32 years old, and you're like, once you get past 30, on any skill player, you're like, well, there's a decline. I mean, it was just last year with Tennessee at
he had a good
struggling
year.
Offense. He had over 1,000 yards receiving. I'd forgotten that.
He impressed me. He did last year because I'm not going to lie. Before last year, I was kind of like, The year before, he definitely lost a step. He's still good, but is it 1,000 yards good? Is it a guy you can go, hey, he's a main staple of our offense? He proved that wrong. He proved me wrong in that aspect last year, and he's looking damn good this year. Yes, it's awesome for them. And if they can get Rashee Rice back somehow, some way, maybe for the playoffs, all of a sudden you could look at that combo and go, wow, they could be dangerous at that position. But they needed it too. My other point, and I meant to say this, Xavier Worthy, as you see. He's not the guy you can count on yet. He's just not. I don't know if he'll ever develop into that guy. We'll see. But like I've kind of talked about, he's right now just a speed guy, and that's all he is, and there's not much nuance to his game. And that's all you can depend on is straight or, if he gets a reverse and gets around the edge, watch out. But other than that, there's not a lot of contribution there. And I think they realized that, and that's why they had to make the trade for Hopkins.
All right, so that is a significant upgrade for the back-to-back defending champion in the Chiefs. Some of the other ones, and we've got the compensation for this. Pete has done a good job of putting that in here. A lot of these, the compensation is not that big of a deal, right? We're talking later-round picks here, which is, it's cool for the team that acquires these guys because the cost wasn't that big. This first one a little bit different.
No, that's a little different.
The Commanders got Marshawn Lattimore, corner from the Saints. Washington gets Lattimore, a 5th-round pick. New Orleans, though, got a 3rd, a 4th, and a 6th-round pick for this one. But as far as the upgrade for the Commanders, 1 to 10.
I mean, I'm going to put this about an 8.
Okay,
I am. Dan Quinn wants to play man-to-man. He's not being able to do that a whole lot because he can't trust this group to do that. And I think he knows that, as again, like we were just talking about, when he plays better teams, he's got to play the Philadelphia Eagles and all that. He can't go, wait, we want to drop into zone every play and do all that and have guys running out and whatever else. And now they run the ball and, our safeties that were down there making it look like blitz or disguise or whatever. And now they get their backs turned to get out and they're running the ball down our throats. And, we turn around. Oh, my gosh, Saquon Barkley's here. There's many elements to why they needed this. this. But, yeah, they don't have any guy on the edge that they can really trust in a man-to-man coverage situation on a big down. And that's what Dan Quinn wants to play more times than not. He does a great job of, like, man and blitz and, it became Tampa 2 or something like that. He's really good at disguising all that. But this year, as compared to years in Dallas, there's a lot more disguise going into Tampa 2, where I know in his heart of hearts he wants to play that man-to-man and some of that cover 3 match zone stuff. I think this is really good. I do think Marshawn Lattimore, the only thing that worries me is just, been injured a little bit over the last few years. But other than that, when he's not, he is still damn good. Right? Not top 3 or top 5 corner in football, but still damn good. And a guy you go, wait, we'll 3rd and 5, we'll put him one-on-one with A.J. Brown right here. We feel okay with that. And I think that's where the great value is for this Washington defense.
And the Saints clearly in sell mode. I mean, looking for a new coach now.
It's all over for the Saints, as we know. There's nothing there. So I expect them to really, this is going to be the beginning of their coaching search. I would thought maybe they would sell even more. They thought there would be maybe more guys for sale there. But you come to a point, too, it's just like, how many guys do we want to sell? And there's a few guys here that we think have a few years left to help us into the future. And I think that's where, like, the Alvin Kamara thing came into play is, hey, we like him. He likes us. He's still playing pretty good. $12 million a year for arguably the best guy on our offense. We don't want to do the same thing the Giants did with Saquon Barkley. Let's keep him. And at least, whoever takes over has something to work with on the offensive side of the ball.
7th round picks exchanged in this next one. Another corner, Rams acquiring Tre'Davious White from the Ravens.
Right.
White has not played since week 4, I believe, here. So how impactful? 1 to 10 scale.
Well, this is one where I'd give it like a 6, maybe 5.5. I feel like is what I would want to say.
That's even higher than I thought.
Well, yeah. I mean, the reason I think I'm probably being a little favorable is just they needed somebody.
Okay,
they needed a body. Between injuries, young players that I don't think they trust all the way, and everything of that, there was definitely a need there. So I give them credit for going out and addressing that. But like Tre'Davious White, do I feel like he dramatically changes them? Like, oh man, now they got him, and they got like this is not Marshawn Lattimore where I go, oh, he'll be able to be on an island again. I wouldn't trust Tre'Davious White on any island with anybody. No way. So he's a zone corner. They play zone. That's good. He's got experience. I will give him that. He's tough. He knows football. He's got good ball skills. But I don't know if it really changes my thought in, now they're a better defense because they can dabble in man-to-man. Right. You can't play man-to-man with Tre'Davious White. That's why Bell's got rid of him. And he was having problems in with the Rams early this year when he was playing.
Didn't give up a lot. Team kind of in the middle here, the Rams, right? And so it's just like not
they
going
knew,
all. They're not hashtag all in, maybe like they have.
No,
been
and I think when
years.
they got Darius Williams back from the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think that's when they went, wait, we don't really need Tre'Davious White. He's a better player, and Tre'Davious White, as I'm saying or trying to tell everybody here, we're kind of on the downside of his career right now. After the knee injuries and all the issues he's had there, he's not the same guy he was 4 years ago up in Buffalo.
Not the same guy as he was back in the day. Wide receiver Mike Williams as well was not featured for the Jets. Is now a Steeler. They've been looking for a wide receiver upgrade, and Brandon Ayuk, and they've talked about it. They've been in discussions.
Yeah.
They get Mike Williams.
Right.
Jets got a conditional 5th-round pick from a 1 to 10 scale impact for the Steelers.
I'm going to give this a 7.5.
Okay.
I am. One, I think it fits them and it fits Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a very good one-on-one quarterback, right? I think that's one thing we've jumped out
George
with.
Pickens.
Yes, exactly right. Hey, he's one-on-one. I can throw it up to him. I can throw back shoulders to him. He's got a good feel for those type of situations when he's reading the field downfield and he sees the guys one-on-one. And of course, Russell's a pretty good thrower of the football that way. So I do like that. Let alone, hey, this is one where they needed some other guy that is at least a dependable force to a degree. I don't think we could have called that in Van Jefferson or any of the other guys. They have their moments, but I think now we got a Pickens, we got Mike Williams outside, they're outside, and now we can put Jitterbug Calvin Austin in the slot or Van Jefferson according to the matchup or the play we want to run or whatever else. I think it gives them more flexibility, and it gives them more, hey, if they are running the ball and teams want to worry about stopping that and all that, again, you got 2 guys on the outside that can win one-on-one matchups or at least get 50-50 balls. Mike Williams' size is one of his greatest attributes he has right now.
On the other side of it, we have a tweet to you from Joe Douglas's burner account, so that's kind of cool. Trading Mike Williams while Lazard is on IR seems like it will be be impactful in ending any hopes of a late Jets run with a thin wide receiver room.
No, I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with that. I think they're just going to ride with the guys they want to ride with. And I think
Malachi Corley.
Well, Malachi Corley, who I think they're going, hey, we're going to start to infuse him. And then Xavier Gibson is a guy that I think a lot of people in the organization are going, get him on the football field. We got Garrett Wilson. We got Devontae Adams. He's the perfect slot guy, almost to like we were just talking about with Pittsburgh. He's your jitterbug, speed sweeps, reverses, little option routes, do all that. I think that's where they looked at it ultimately to go, wait, Mike Williams, we're paying a good chunk of money. He's nowhere near one of the 2 or 3 priorities of our offensive game plan on a weekly basis, right? It goes Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and then Breece Hall, and then maybe whoever after that. So, I don't think that this means that for the Jets. I don't. This is not a give up. I think this is one they looked at to go, maybe in the perfect world, we'd like to keep him for depth and a little versatility, but we have the flexibility to get rid of him. We're not using him that much, and we are at a time where, we'll see where we are. We're kind of teetering on will we make it or will we not, and we'll see where we go. But I don't think it's like throwing the white towel quite yet.
Steelers also beefing up their defense with a 7th-round pick. They gave over to the Packers for defensive end Preston Smith.
I was surprised by that. I was. I didn't see – that was one I did not hear anything about. I can understand the Packers doing it. The Packers are going, wait, we got so many damn good guys on our defensive front seven. We can't even play all these guys. And I think they looked at it and went to say, there's some younger guys here that we think are better than Preston, and we got to get them in and get them involved. The Steelers – I think what I'm surprised with, and I guess this is more because of the Nick Herbig is injured and they want more depth here in case like an Alex Highsmith or a TJ Watt get banged up a little bit. Mm-hmm. But another big size guy, physical outside linebacker who fits right in the realm of what they do and how they play. So he'll be good at all that stuff, whether it's just like, hey, they got hurt or we want to spell them, or, hey, it's 3rd down and we got Highsmith and Watt on the outside, and now we got Preston Smith working as an interior pass rusher. I think it improves them not only depth, versatility, all that type of stuff is where it's going to be good for Preston Smith and the Steelers.
Yeah, Smith for the Packers played a season-high 71% of the snaps week 1, played a season-low 37% of the snaps
I think they saw this
week.
coming, and I think there's some talented guys there in Green Bay where they just slowly but surely they're going, okay, we're comfortable, we trust them. They're actually better physical players than he is right now. Let's move on and just let them play and hand over the keys to them. And I think that's kind of where they are.
You didn't give a 1 to 10 on that.
On that Preston Smith one, I'll give it a 7.
Okay, wow.
I think those are good moves by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, they don't always have to be superstars.
Yeah,
depth and quality of play, and some of the teams we're going to talk about today, and like their defenses and what makes them good is the depth and versatility. It's not always like superstar. It's to be able to go, oh wait, this team played this personnel. Oh, they got a good matchup here to do that. This guy's banged up or tired. Oh man, their substitutes are pretty good too. Oh shit, now their starters are fresh. There's value into that type of stuff, and I think that's what was really good by Steelers in both of their trades.
And now this guy who is playing 40 snaps only has to play 20 snaps.
Exactly right. And now in the 4th quarter, TJ Watt can redline it again instead of like, it's the 4th quarter. I'm going to take these 2 plays and kind of go 85% because I need to save myself for like 3 plays from now when they cross midfield, and now I got to go get Mahomes and go crazy again, right? Yeah. And now they don't have to worry about that. There is value in all of that.
All right, this next one, a bit of a head scratcher to some people out there. The Cowboys, buyers at the deadline acquired wide receiver Jonathan Mingo from the Panthers. Yeah, Dallas gets Mingo. They did get a conditional 7th-round pick. They gave up a 4th-round pick.
I don't even get it. I mean that's. Like, I understand trading for the guy, and there's a little potential here with this player. We talked about him a few years ago when he came out in the draft, the Ole Miss. He's physical. He's like a poor man's A.J. Brown, where it's like he's kind of built like A.J. Brown, but he doesn't have the acceleration and the speed. Can break tackles, can do stuff like that, can play through contact, everything there. But to, like, trade a 4th-round pick for him? Right. I mean, that's the same as we're seeing for some of these other guys that are like bona fide all-pros and Pro Bowlers in their careers already. Like, so that's where I'm shocked by it. Now, they obviously have a need at receiver. We know that. But yeah, I'm surprised by that. That to me is what we're into. That wasn't last year. Was that last year when they traded for Trey Lance, or was that 2 years ago? That's 2 4th-round picks in 3 years, or maybe it's 2 for 2. I'm all going together. I think that was It was 2 or 3 years. It was 2 years ago, right? But that's 2 fourth-round picks that I want to go, they just throw away. Like, oh, who cares? Fourth-round picks. And I'm going to go, it does matter. Because Dallas, you're not very good in free agency. You are good at drafting and developing. And you're taking that away. Trey Lance is their third-string backup. I mean, now he'll be the backup. And, yeah, I don't know what they quite have saw in Jonathan Mingo to go, ooh, that warrants a fourth-round pick in compensation, and we need to get him here with his, 112 yards receiving on the season?
Yeah, to your point, he went for a fourth.
Right.
Hopkins and Deontay Johnson each went for a fifth this year. Dallas traded Amari Cooper for a fifth back in 2022.
It's insane.
So Mingo, the highest compensation in return.
Right.
Young guy.
I'll give it a 1.5, okay? I'll be the Russian judge on this one and give him a 1.5 because I don't even understand it, honestly. The anything about it. I do not understand it. Your quarterback just got hurt. Your team sucks. The season's over. You're going to leverage assets for a guy that's unproven and that we don't know, and you're going to pay more for him than anybody else has paid for a receiver out there in the trade market? That's insane. I don't understand that. And warning signs of a team that just drafted the guy and they don't want him already.
Yeah, that would be number
those
one.
are all things to go. And it's similar to the Trey Lance thing.
And took him in the second round. They took him in the second round. They were willing to take a 2-round discount on
that's crazy.
What he can do in year number 2. Grimy Izzy, I believe it is here. A good tweet to you. Jonathan Mingo. I think when the local Dallas radio host asks Jerry to justify that trade, he is going to shut down 105.3 The Fan. Like that radio station will no longer exist when this one gets
might not.
questioned.
He's going to be like, how dare you? How dare you criticize me? We're all in on Jonathan Mingo. But yeah, I mean, it's weird, and Dallas is in a weird spot, as we know, and I think falling apart in front of us.
All right, the Bears gave up some running back depth to help out the Bengals.
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert goes to the Bengals from the Bears. Chicago gets a 7th-round pick in return. Oh, you didn't give a number to the last trade.
I said a 1.5.
Oh, you did. Sorry, you did. 1.5. Okay,
yes,
sorry.
Yes, Russian
1.5.
judge.
That's right.
Right.
All right, good call.
Thank you.
This one, what do you give this one? For the Bengals.
They're like thin at the position. So I understand this here, and I like Khalil Herbert. I mean, I'll give this a 7, maybe a 7.5. I mean, again, I just think for need and the player, Khalil Herbert's really good. Like, he had a good year last year. They signed DeAndre Swift. He's better. I understand that. And he's obviously locked down that running back position for the Chicago Bears. The Bengals are looking at it and going, wait. If we lose Chase Brown, we got nothing at running back that we can really depend on or trust. We got to have somebody else, and Herbert can do that. So Herbert runs hard between the tackles. He's physical. He's a lot like DeAndre Swift. He's just a little bit lesser of a version, but I think he'll help them out. And as we know, they're a team that I don't think there was any one move that you looked at and went, that's going to help their defense. But offensively, I think they just go, wait, we got to be good on offense. We got to be sharp. Burrow's going to have to carry us, and hopefully T. Higgins, Chase Brown, and Jamar Chase stay healthy, and Trey Burton or Jermaine Burton doesn't shows up for practice and does the right things there, and they can be really dangerous on that side of the ball. But I do like the trade for them overall. I do.
One question I would have for the Bears is it worth it? And I know they like Roshan Johnson.
Yeah,
you
right.
liked him coming out of Texas too, and so they've got 2 guys there still. But I mean, Herbert, just you mentioned, another good.
I know it's like he
a
fell
7th
out
round
of,
pick is like a 7th round pick worth
it's
it.
Really, it's
worth
like he fell
it?
out of favor there. I don't really know what happened, and that's kind of what it felt like. I was shocked all year that when DeAndre Swift would come out of the game, it was always Roshan Johnson. I was like, damn, Khalil Herbert was the best running back on the team last year. Like, what happened there? So obviously there was some disconnect or not liking him or whatever. And I'm sure they got a guy or 2 in the practice squad. They got Travis Homer there where they went, okay. And I don't know if it's worth it. I think they're getting to a spot here going, wait, another 2 or 3 games, we're going to be either in this or out of this, and he's expendable, and we'll get some low-level assets and acquire it from the Bengals that way.
And we have saved the best for last.
Yeah.
My Detroit Lions acquire Zadarius Smith from the Browns. They got their defensive end. Their semi-replacement for Aiden Hutchinson. Really can't totally replace that guy.
No, you
Detroit
cannot.
got Smith and a 7th-round pick next year. Cleveland gets a 5th-round pick and a 6th-round pick next year. 1 to 10 for Zadarius Smith.
I give it an 8. I mean, it's big. It's hey, he is a guy that can rush the passer. Is he like a superstar? Is he really good, like take over the game like he was maybe 3-4 years ago? No, he's not that. But again, I think like he's not going to have to play every down, because you guys are one of those teams that are deep and have a lot of players, so it's not going to be like he has to play 65 snaps a game. He's going to be a little bit more of a role of like, okay, I'm in this series, I'm out this series. Oh, they're throwing this series, I'm back in. Okay, ball. It's going to be a little bit more picky and choosy to where I think that's going to improve his play because he'll be fresher that way, let alone new energy of a new team and like, oh, thank God I'm out of Cleveland and I'm on a team that can win the Super Bowl. Yeah, I expect big things from him. But, yeah, they needed him. We're going to break down their defense in a minute, and I just think it adds to the versatility of what your team can be. He is a guy, because he's so big and powerful, yeah, he can win on the edge, but on third down, if you wanted to go, hey, let's put him and a Liam McNeil at D tackle, and on the edge we'll mix it up with some different guys over there. Whether that's I'm coming up with names. I was going to say Josh Pascal, but I forgot he got hurt last week.
Yeah,
but yeah, they can mix it up with other guys. Either way, it gives them versatility that way. I think that's kind of what you're looking at there, and he fits with how you guys play. Big, physical, powerful type of edge guy for the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
Yo, homies, thanks for watching. Yeah, it's time. The NFL season is here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
You can hit subscribe to get all the weekly picks, plus our Sunday recaps as the games are happening.
Oh, you know it. Nobody does that better than us. Thanks again for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out. We'll see you next time on Unbuttoned.